pulling the tyre, and it's like, as we discussed, 100 kilograms on board, and it's like, it doesn't stop as much as I thought.
And I have to say, seeing replays of that many cars having issues into turn one, it's got to help Max Verstappen's case with the stewards.
That is a good point, actually. Clearly it was an issue for a number of drivers.
It's a bit cool. It is absolutely. Even the first time that we raced at Jeddah, there were plenty of calls from the race director that day about swapping the order around and making adjustments. The precedent, it goes both ways. Think back to Lewis Hamilton going deep into Fuji back in 2008, forcing another driver off the road that day on his way to his first world title. We've got a penalty for that. Precedent with Sebastian Vettel, Jenson Button, big shot in the Japanese Grand Prix a few years later. Button furious, but was allowed to stand, and it's empty road. It really is just entirely in the discretion of the stewards, and we do get different stewards for different races, so the precedent can change. It's not been hard and fast in Formula 1 history in the last 20 years.
See the drivers weaving around, just confirming the fact that this is these cool conditions, more difficult to maintain tire temperature. And that's going to be the critical thing, actually. If you allow the tires to drop too low, then they're more susceptible to getting graining. If you get the graining, then it just opens up a whole world of pain. Unfortunately, you have to make an earlier stop.
This was one of the concerns of all the teams and drivers beforehand. If they got a VSC or a full safety car, keeping that tire temperature in, especially the drivers that are now on the hard compound, just trying to keep that going.
The safety car will be in at the end of the 17 turns, and it's all about comparing. One thing we have seen throughout the entire weekend in Las Vegas is that Red Bull has been superb at firing up that front axle and the tyres. So Max Verstappen has been mighty in the first sector of this race, like all the way through the weekend, whether it be practice, whether it be qualifying, or whether it be the Grand Prix itself. Plenty of celebrities in every single garage here. The celebrity attendance document that they sent out ran 72 pages that we were sent to the start of the weekend. You didn't feel like that on the group, DC?
Yeah, it was the biggest celebrities to do. I've just seen Kevin go wrong going my money in this. I can't sing the words, but it's a catchy little number.
Getting closer and closer to full-blown DC karaoke before the end of the year.
Just in front of this stage, folks, the situation at turn 1 on lap 1 is with the stewards. We are not going to reverse on positions, so I'll make it with you.
So not reversing on positions, that then throws the decision for the stewards to potentially apply a penalty if they decide that there would be no swap. You could get an instruction from the race director, but if they're going to go down that route, I feel they would have done it by now. So we're backed up, the track is now officially clear, and Red Bull have elected to keep track position. Sometimes the team, and they run it so that you give the place back and you negate any risk of a penalty. They've decided to leave him out there, and he's the leader. Might not come there for shoulder.
Wow, he was almost into the gearbox of Max Verstappen. Now the question is, how early will Max hold? And it looks like he's going
He's
away.
been caught, and he's caught them back a little bit. That lockup into 14 definitely hurt Charles' exit. Now, no pressure from behind Max Verstappen already with a massive 1.1 second gap in turn 1.
Restarts happening phenomenal. Here's his chance for Oscar Piastri, looking to make a move on the dirty, dusty part of the racetrack. Hard tyres versus soft. You should not be able to fire those hard tyres up in a way where you're able to get by, and yet the Australian driver was able to do so. Saw making McLaren now up to 10th position.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe already the softs are starting to get some of that graining. They weren't sure how long they were going to last. Yuki decided to stay out as he's now in line there. You look maybe at Ricardo trying to make a pass there. Carlos Sainz going by Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, up to 17th position. Both Spaniards spinning in the first turn. And Sainz, who was angry enough at the start of this weekend, thinks that 10th place penalty was unjust. Well, his recovery drive has gone from 12th on the grid. He's now 17th in the race as the drivers, for the first time in the Grand Prix now, begin to feel what's underneath them. It's a surface flag being flown in the background there. So the drivers being warned of that. That is in one part of the racetrack only from what we've seen in terms of the messages on race control. What a restart that this from Max Verstappen is he's 1.8 seconds.
Got a long way to go in this Grand Prix, but it's going to say Max was nice animals to build up behind to this Grand Prix. He definitely looks like he's going to rush on to get out of here.
Well, he's been very outspoken, I think it's fair to say, across the entire weekend. And then he was told he'd be wearing an Elvis suit for overalls for Sunday. Would have put a good run in his face when he was showing those. Parts being completed. It's getting overtime between Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz. And Sainz actually dropped down to 18th place now. The only overtaking on track. So there were two drivers on soft tyres. That's the previous time, and it expires first at the start of the Grand Prix 1. Now let's see if Hamilton can go around the outside. It would be a great move if he manages it. And he does so up to 11th place. Though soft tyre not working on the AlphaTauri. And that is strong work. Max Verstappen is given the 5-second penalty for forcing another driver off the track. Historically, sometimes you get penalised, sometimes you get away with it. Today, Max Verstappen's penalised, but Red Bull got it right by leaving him in the lead of the race. Can he now easily build the 5-second gap that he needs to take that up first?
Yeah, it remains to be seen, but it definitely throws another little bit of intrigue into this race. I wonder if any of the other incidents in Turn 1 will be looked at.
That's a great point. I mean, is Fernando going to be making contact essentially? Affects a few other cars' races. Again, it's his turn 1 in a Grand Prix, so that one you're probably going to get away with. But the statistics certainly still look to be in Max's favor. He's not won a Grand Prix by less than 5 seconds so far this year. He's won a fair few of them. So the only thing that can really do it, you know, if in the dying laps we have a safety car.
Okay, Esteban Ocon. Going to the inside. They made that DRS so longer by 50 metres over the course of the weekend. It's like he hit a brick wall when he pulled out. I think back to Monza earlier this year. The Blue Alpines had a horrible time recovering energy there and getting to the end of the straight and being efficient. He did have a chance before. How much good is there into turn 1? Going in, main contact and managed to set the fastest lap of the race. As Max Verstappen. And that was in qualifying between these two. Looks good the right now. Esteban Ocon on the podium in Monaco this year. They can't fight away by Vettel's
Vanishing from the pack or just a wider line. That was quite a difference in line as he's going through that turn. And I feel we haven't actually given enough wow factor to Lewis Hamilton going around the outside in Turn 3. Something else took our attention, but wow, that was impressive.
fully committed, and Yuki Tsunoda on that soft tyre passed by Piastri, then Hulkenberg, and then Hamilton. But Hamilton, in a really unconventional part of the racetrack as he gets through. And Albon still in 5th, Logan Sargent's the driver factory kitchen now in 6th position. Here's the race lead.
You have been given the 5-second penalty for that incident. But you're already 2 seconds ahead behind, so just keep eking that gap out to the stop.
Here's Max Verstappen out front to say the 5-second penalty, which he was served at the first stop. That's what they're looking for. Charles Leclerc, all the effort now for Charles Leclerc going into trying to stay within undercut range. And he tried the inside before, now he's trying the outside line, taking the position away. Esteban Ocon up to 7th. He was out of Q1 yesterday, but O'Malley at turn 1 has changed his race around. And now we've got an Alpine in 7th and an Alpine in 4th.
He did say that he thought there was enough pace in that car to get into Q3, so he's very disappointed to get held up in qualifying. Now Oscar Piastri's going to line up Magnussen at the Haas in the 1.
Oh, and he's going on the side of caution. They know there's enough room to make the pass, but he was very cautious there. Under traction, another sweep around the outside. Hamilton was at it before, now Piastri's got it. And Magnussen street fighting, and he's trying to stay with the young rookie Australian driver. The man who scored a podium in his first ever Formula 1 Grand Prix, manages to fight his way back through, and Magnussen takes 8th position, battles all the way through the field at the moment on lap 10 of 50.
Well, that answers all our questions about how good will this circuit be for racing. And so far, so good. And a great comeback there for Magnussen.
It's kind of reminiscent of the Brazil setup, where you can get that pass done into turn 1, but then the car you just got by has the DRS into turn 4 and can attack back. So great move from Kevin Magnussen to get the position back, but Piastri definitely looks quicker at this point.
I couldn't see visually. This is looking great. It
Also, look up front, guys. The gap to Leclerc from Verstappen has actually come down by about half a second even more. So as we see, there you go. Sainz down the inside of Alonso once again. This man is going at it.
Action at the front, action at the back. There's 1.9 seconds for the lead of the Grand Prix. And Carlos Sainz facing up against his childhood hero, Fernando Alonso. These two have been dreaming of fighting for weeks at least today. Now, before the end of this, is Kevin getting past Max again.
Straight line speed. See him looking, coming across to defend. Lewis Hamilton, the view of the action ahead. Taking on last look, Jimmy, feel the acceleration increase. Use an 8th gear, you've got to have a bit of a
Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen getting on great after qualifying. Sure that we getting on great after the Grand Prix. Our first Saturday Grand Prix since 1985. Fastest lap for Max Verstappen, being chased by a personal best for Charles Leclerc, who's got the gap down to 1.6 seconds. And Leclerc knows that this is a real day of decision. He's trying to claim his first victory since Austria 2022 today. Lap 12 or 50, Verstappen, Russell, Gasly, Albon, Sargent, Ocon, Piastri, Hamilton and Magnussen, the drivers in the points. Vegas is putting on a show for Formula 1. It is pass, repass, pass again, where they do fighting at the front, like Ocon, Piastri and Hamilton, or the scrapping at the back. All involved at the start of the Grand Prix, Sainz, Alonso and Bottas. Gasly had a good couple of laps, Russell trying to respond. Last time around he was 3 tenths of a second faster than Charles Leclerc, looking for his second podium in the season today.
just figure out the cars visibly look racing, even at this early stage of the race without a fuel line. Can you imagine how as the fuel comes off, the cars are going to be reacting as Hamilton really on the race on the Haas battle it out on the brakes. Magnussen, as we know, is not one to give up easily.
Well, credit to the FIA for eliminating DRS because it's left them to do it on the brakes. The slam dunk move's been completed down there. It's very much all about the slipstream and how brave you're feeling on the brakes. Here's another move for you then, and this is going to be Sergio Perez improving up to 12th position. Another move completed down into turn 14, the end of that 1.2 mile straight. You pull on the anchors, and it looks like Carlos Sainz is going to try and line up Daniel Ricciardo here. Sainz, who missed out being fastest at the end of the qualifying hour by under half a tenth of a second. So Sainz being told that he's risking the reliability of the car. I don't think he cares one iota about that. He's fighting to try and use the speed of that Ferrari. The Ferrari is pushing Max Verstappen at the moment. You're all board with it. He's saying, okay, I can get by, I can get some clear. And it's almost chill out when we have a response with the already.
You can almost hear it even as he was trying to make that pass happen when he got to the brake zone. There was a little bit of lifting coast there. It's just so funny for everything that we heard about the worry of temperatures being too cold. We are a few degrees warmer than what we've seen for most of the sessions now, as lots are all over the back of Daniel Ricciardo. But yeah, the team just might not overkill on the blanking, and now drivers are having to lift and coast to cool temperatures. But also shows how close you can run here. It's a great track for racing. They're able to follow close, they're able to race well.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we were wondering if it would shake up the running order, because the cars can run more closed aerodynamically, then that can bring some cars into a performance window. Where obviously in the water tracks, you've got to open them up. Aston there, Alonso getting that past on and Daniel Ricciardo.
That was fun, so that was different. Alonso was running about straight line speed of his car yesterday. It was pretty effective today. He clears Daniel Ricciardo, who likes this part of the world, but won't be liking the car underneath him at the moment. Lots of fast laps being completed as we move through the order. Okay, we're also seeing lots of stuff talking about he switched with a hard tyre, got rid of the mediums. And the fastest lap of the Grand Prix is Sergio Perez, who the last time we got to the end of the qualifying round was Leclerc ahead of Sainz and the Grand Prix. Sergio Perez, who loves the street circuit. 5 of his 6 Grand Prix victories have come at temporary facilities. That is opportunistic. That is brilliant from Esteban Ocon, who charges his way by after the disappointment of qualifying. That was superb stuff, and we weren't expecting many overtakes there today.
Yeah, very true. He lined it up, he knocked him in sniffing at the gearbox for a couple of laps, and then realising, well, we can see that in a couple of corners actually. Coming out of turn 1 and then the one through V, there's a choice of lines there. Denver, just how much speed you barrel into the corner. We see more than offset lines than we saw in qualifying, where they actually just line the fastest single line through the corner.
You know, it's interesting, there's a good mix of hards and mediums on right now as the racing continues down the strip into turn 14.
It's getting very, very, very tight, no matter where you look on track. Oscar Piastri has got up to 7th position, and then we're going to driver's eye view. Piastri trying to fight by. This is Lewis Hamilton trying to charge past Logan Sargent as well. He does so further back. Sergio Perez is now up to 10th position. He has cleared the Haas. As we see Magnussen now bolting to the pits. The Haas running different specifications. All the news split between the two drivers. Magnussen in the new, Hulkenberg in the old. This is how Sergio Perez is able to fight his way by. This is over 200 miles per hour. Got the speed. Does he go to the left? Does he go to the right? Is the track wide enough? He gets past the Alpha, and then when the Haas pitted in, he got past Magnussen as well. Perez looking good right now. This is the battle for the lead in the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and it's inside second.
It is indeed. And, well, is this all that Max has, or is this him managing the tyre to enable him to make sure he can get to that one start? And also, the next question is, where is Dick Bingham for Charles to even consider an undercut if he's not thinking that he's able to effect a pass on track? And there's a lot of traffic out there. There isn't an obvious gap for him to fall into.
It almost makes you wonder if, with all the issues that drivers are having with temperature, the tires getting up to speed, if maybe the overcut is actually in play as well. You know, the heat you finally have in the tire from the stint will be a little bit quicker than the outlap with how cold it is. But it doesn't matter. He looks like he might get this done on track.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that this is Max managing. This is Max under pressure. He will not be comfortable to have a cloud with a DRS zone.
George Russell said on the radio earlier on, I'm getting real trouble trying to manage these tyres and keep Gasly behind. And it's Russell who picks first to drop down to 8th position and will go further back in the order. Big opportunity now for the lead in the Grand Prix though. Max Verstappen, when he got the lead in turn 1, must have thought that he could build up the gap, disappear out of sight, like he has done so many times so far this year. And the crowd roaring for these two. It got contentious down to turn number 1. There's a penalty heading the way of Max Verstappen. He will take that at the first stop, but he might not be the lead car when he gets there. Charles Leclerc fed up at the stat that he started from pole position 11 times in a row and hasn't been able to convert it. That's the worst run in Formula 1 since the 1980s, and he's desperate to win that Saturday. On the radio, a picture of calm. Max Verstappen with his mirror score, 1.2 miles, flat to the floor, in the wheel tracks. He's been called to the pits. Charles Leclerc doesn't know that. He's going to try and pull the move now. The start prior to the inside. Takes the lead. It's Grand Prix. It's getting right at the front of the field. Like we haven't seen for so long in Formula 1. And the crowd adoring that moment. Ferrari seemingly able to take their tyres further as Max Verstappen comes into the pits.
And he's going to find himself coming out behind Logan Sargent. This is a normal stop and well known.
There's the wait at the 5-second penalty.
This is actually going out of Daniel Ricciardo. As the two cars are making their way to the pits.
Okay, Albon's in the pits as well, so is Piastri. It's melee in turn 1 at the start of this race. It's action everywhere you look at the moment. The car looking all right with Oscar Piastri, who goes on to the hard time, but it's a slow start.
Yeah, the front right wasn't there. So a little feeling that he's got a puncture.
This the moment where he got it diving down the inside of the Australian driver. Piastri trying to hang on to it. That enough to puncture the tyre, and sparks out the back of Piastri's car.
I think Piastri got a puncture as well.
Yeah.
That's why it was being a little bit slow getting that tire off. That right from the left one, I guess.
It's just so much action happening in this Grand Prix. It's difficult to follow. That does sound like Hamilton, yeah.
He's literally,
He is really in a bad way here with this puncture.
That sign's going through, that's Joe going through as well. Hamilton gets rid of the bottom.
Yeah, so what he's done is he's realised there's a bunch of traffic here. He's come to the inside of the chicane, which he actually did at the same point when we saw Norris crash earlier. But on this occasion, he's understeered into the bollard.
George Russell making his way through, having been stopped. You want to have a circuit where you go up to speeds of 200 miles per hour and you need to stop all the time. Okay, Charles continues to lead. It's Falcon now to second in the Grand Prix, having started 16th on the grid. As Hamilton will surely bear into the pit lane. He does so. That is Pierre Gasly making his stop. So he was in a straight fight with George Russell. But watch our driver track and see where Gasly is able to emerge and Russell is going through. But Gasly does have the benefit of fresher tyres. Is on Piastri. Hamilton noted causing a collision. Hamilton slow stop at the back there, but he's back in for a pretty exasperated expression from the left-hander.
Yeah, and that was a little bit tardy from Mercedes. It almost looked as if they didn't get the signal that tells them the wheel nut has been properly secured to the car, and the wheel nuts had to go back on. You can see where Hamilton chose to cut to the inside and hit that plastic ball out.
See if we get on board.
Looks like he made the decision a little bit late to take the shortcut. I think it's a good idea, but yeah, he's understood a little bit with the tires not totally right.
Back to trackside pictures, Esteban Ocon, Sergio Perez, second and third at the moment. Perez on that hard tyre, attacking now with DRS, and Perez taking the position away there. Perez stuck behind Ocon after that scrappy opening lap to the Grand Prix. Drivers taking avoiding action, but Perez, in a sharp contrast to what we've seen for the rest of the year, able to get a tune out of those hard tyres. It's going nicely for the Mexican driver who changed those tyres at the start of the Grand Prix because he changed the nose, got rid of the mediums, went onto the hard, and that man's career is built on putting the performance from the tyre longer than others are able to do so. He's in exactly the sort of Grand Prix that he adores. Street race, tyre, life preservation, that is very much up Sergio Perez's street.
Carlos Sainz is the other driver that is in a similar situation. Again, nobody really got a chance to run long on the hards. Many teams didn't even run the hard tires in practice, so we're not sure how long these things can last, but if they can make some magic happen, both of them can satisfy the tire requirements, and with the gap from Sainz to Leclerc right now, they will come out almost dead even.
Is Joe Ronier, the car, the Alfa Romeo in the way of George Russell. That's the left, not get right, that's the right. Now you can try and make it pass.
Yeah, Russell will be very much aware that one, the whole time he spends behind traffic back in his cooling, and also he's got Max Verstappen in his mirrors. You can hear him to roll out, the car hitting the fuel, to roll out quite early as they go into the turn there, and it just means that the combined braking and lateral load just isn't enough grip there with the car still relatively heavy.
Well, the pass looks like at 200 miles per hour plus. Oh, a bit of a bump that I don't think he'd be over many times down there. Sometimes when you make a move, you use past the racetrack that you wouldn't normally. And Russell able to find his way by efficient passes are crucial as the world champion is on a charge behind him. And Joe Ronier staying out, elongating the stint as long as possible. He's now had 20 laps on those tyres, as he's on to lap 20 on those tyres. As we move through a really intriguing Las Vegas Grand Prix in the balance.
Yeah, Charles being able to stay out longer is just going to give him much more opportunity and much more flexibility on tyre life. when he eventually does his stop, Max is going to get the task done here, or is he?
Not about it. He saw him sort of roll out of the brake pedal after the initial hit there to get a little bit closer. As we see very quick yellow in sector 2 there.
Yeah, someone deep over the curve, I would imagine. It's Leclerc, then Perez, Ocon, Stroll, Sainz, Alonso, Russell, Joe, and Verstappen. Verstappen looking to try and make the pass, but again, to a part of the racetrack that is dusty, that is dirty, he hasn't been to all weekend long. Look at the speed they have at this stage as they go by, and nicely done as he gets by, and he moves up to 8th position. So it is lap 20 and 50. Let's check in with our race leader. At the moment, he was able to reclaim the place that he lost in the first 175 metres of the Grand Prix.
I do love the titanium skids sparkling as they go. You would have had a face full of Red Bull sparks as he then pulled out and affected the task. Well, unsurprisingly, his team love that. The race fans love it, the tifosi. And that's what I love about Formula 1. You've got to probably relate it. One's got a Mercedes hat on, the other one's got a Ferrari.
So Ocon comes into the pits after one of his best stints of the entire season, you have to say, and Verstappen into 7th, and he goes up to 7th position now, 2.1 seconds away from George Russell, and those two fighting for positions will be very, very interesting, because if Russell can stay ahead of Verstappen, it helps this man even further, and Ferrari sometimes so hard on their tyres in the cooler conditions. Charles Leclerc, desperate to just stop talking about qualifying, start talking about being the driver who gets the largest trophy at the end of the Grand Prix.
Man, he's pushing. There's no question. You saw how close he was to the wall on the exit of that turn. We've been through practice qualifying with a graphic telling us how many centimetres. And he knows he has to hustle these tyres and try and open up the gap as much as possible. This is the moment where he'll be voting for world-class customer service and a 2-second pit stop.
It's interesting, the Hearts are holding on pretty well right now. You see Russell with the DRS open, trying to get Fernando Alonso defense from the Aston Martin car. Can he do it on the inside? I don't think so. Gonna have another good run out of 14 here. But those hard tires, they're really hanging in there. The pace is very good when you're comparing against some of the similar medium runners.
Okay, Fernando Alonso keeping Russell behind for the moment. Charles Leclerc looking for a clean rejoin on the exit. Just want to keep it the right-hand side as we see still ahead the green Aston Martin ahead of a black Mercedes. Max Verstappen as the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Do not count him out of this one at the moment. Different cars respond to different tyres and going by and moving through. It's a 1:37.8 from Max Verstappen, the driver who has completely dominated the Formula 1 World Championship so far this season with 17 wins. That's an all-time record in the entire history of the World Championship, and he was many people's favourites today to extend that record. But it's his team, Sergio Perez, who finds himself in the race lead. Lance Stroll, who started on the soft tire, had the benefit of the chaos of turn 1, used the moment where we had the intervention for the virtual safety car to get on the hard. He's in 2nd place. There's our net race leader, Charles Leclerc, who is in 3rd. This looks like a tasty battle, doesn't it? As we head on to the strip, Alonso, Russell, and Max Verstappen chasing each other. Huge speeds now. Russell knows that he's got to try and make a place immediately, otherwise Verstappen will eat him for what time of day is it? Not quite breakfast, but you get the point as he goes by with 15 minutes to 11 local time, and the Mercedes has improved, but Verstappen is the worry for him.
Yeah, this race is delivering in terms of action. There's no question about that, and that's a massive relief to me personally as a race fan, and I'm sure to Las Vegas as well. The action has just been non-stop.
Let's see if we get the other overtake that we were expecting, and we do so down to turn number 1. Max Verstappen moves up to 6th position, and he gets past Fernando Alonso. Oscar Piastri is the fastest driver on the racetrack at the moment, 6th lap on hard times. He's still got to stop for mediums by the end of the Grand Prix. But Piastri having a nice return to form after switched to the hard tyre doesn't have the same superb pace that he had on the medium, and that's the difference. Sometimes different cars speaking to different cockpits. Let's go on board with Mercedes. It's been a really tricky race for Lewis Hamilton so far. So it's George Russell, who is the second driver for Mercedes in the championship. He's a race winner last year in the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. He's only been on the podium on one occasion so far this season. Had a chance to find a victory in Singapore, but Spain was only clipped to the rostrum. And now he is in a straight fight up against Max Verstappen. Verstappen will know that Russell defends intently. You see between these two earlier in the year in Baku, where in the sprint Verstappen was millimetres heading into the wall. Told you Russell just when he thought in Parc Fermé, one of the livelier exchanges that we've caught on camera throughout the year. We are ticking towards half distance, and we have Perez in the front of the field in a race that he really seems to favour. That is such a great twist into the pit straight we go there as Verstappen goes slightly wide, chasing the Mercedes. The compression in turn 17 makes it look so visually quick in the tracks like that. This was Charles Leclerc looking for a quick stop, slightly slow from the race leader on board in the left hand side of your picture, so we've shown you that replay again as he continues. Better safe than sorry without having that race lead.
There's been a few issues in securing wheel nuts, which it's not like it's massively cold on the Grand Prix. The rain temperature's going over 1,000 degrees, the wheel and nut is going to be pretty warm. But for whatever reason, they haven't had the slickest of their stuff. No one getting close to the world record of 1.8 seconds set by McLaren earlier this year.
Science, Russell, Verstappen, the order as we went into the sweepers by the time that we get to turn 12 to send us on to the strip. Officially Las Vegas Boulevard, it wasn't the pass that George Russell was looking for. He will get the slipstream, but there is going to be a huge hole in the air. Hunt for Max Verstappen, who could yet make it a three-car battle in a few moments' time. But the Mercedes that has struggled for straight line speed so often, now he gets by, so Ross up to fourth, Verstappen on the charge though, and here comes that mega slipstream as to the inside goes the Red Bull. Russell takes the place of fourth, Sainz goes down to sixth, Verstappen elevated to fifth place, and there was a routine pass for Pierre Gasly on that lap as well. He's out to eighth position, clearing Joe Guanyu, who is running that longest stint.
I was always going to answer the question, has Sainz been given the strategic instruction to just make it a bit more tricky for Max Verstappen? But in actual fact, looking at that, I think he's just in a phase where he's running out of pace and running out of tyres. He's lost two places on one straight.
Ocon has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's 1.7 seconds, make that 1.4 seconds away from Oscar Piastri, who finds himself in 10th. And Ocon will look to go on the charge again. He looks happy with that hard tyre. I think he'll bring it in a way that Gasly was very hesitant at the start of that stint. I wonder if they're thinking about bringing that hard tyre in slowly.
Well, I don't know you guys, but the body language of Max Verstappen's car does not seem to be, I'm taking these tyres to the end of the Grand Prix.
I think he's just absolutely going for it here. Oh, is he going to try it on the inside here? Into turn 12.
Whoa! Into the contact! Into the side of George Russell. He was committed, and in turn 12, the two of them come together.
Right, is that damage only from George's car, or is some of that from the Red Bull?
It's tough to tell if there's weight damage to Red Bull. Definitely floor damage to the Mercedes as they're
Charles Leclerc making the pass on Armstrong, just looking for efficient moves through the field. Leclerc looking to leave all of the drama behind.
Should we predict the leading message from George Russell?
They've got history, they've got previous. We were referring to him earlier in the broadcast. And Armstrong in third. Now, after Charles Leclerc has made the place, you can just see a little bit of wiggling around for Verstappen.
Tyre is okay for them. Stay out now. Tyre is okay.
It's funny, you look at how slight the contact was between Piastri and Hamilton, both having issues after that. Much harder, much more damaging contact between Verstappen and Russell, but seemingly both continuing no tire issues at least, but certainly that Mercedes will have lost a little bit amount of downforce. And this is just going to make for a long second half of the
Was there enough of the car alongside for George to clearly know? Not probably that phase. And I'm not sure he was really aware that he was trying to get a tax done. It looks like he's alongside, but not quite 100%.
If you look at George's helmet right before turning, yeah, there's a big chunk of Red Bull in there.
Tires on the way into it.
But if you look at George's helmet, he doesn't seem to be looking
Safety car is out. Sorry, Hitch.
Go on. No, I'm saying he looks to be looking at his mirror, and that's not a typical pass zone. So maybe he really didn't know he was coming again. You can see there on the driver's right of the Red Bull front wing damage. Safety car out, so Blue takes it. Checo comes out in third place. There he is.
So that is a massive benefit for the man who's put one of his best stints together of the entire season. And Sergio Perez gets a 2.4 second stop and is suddenly a contender.
Yeah, absolutely. He almost took his front jackman with him. He was so electric away from that pit stop, and that has actually played to his benefit very well. Max Verstappen has tried to really do the front wing as well. I don't think he would get as long as stopped.
Okay. It's a 3.3 second stop for Stroll. Verstappen had a 2.7 stop. Russell 2.9. Russell lost the real cover. Now that safety car line is vitally important, and I think Max Verstappen got out ahead there with Esteban Ocon. That's where they measure it when you rejoin after pitting under the safety car.
Yeah, so for now, he isn't complaining of big loss of front downforce. He could have turned a little bit of flat into the car if they've seen from the load sensors a massive amount of data being transferred from the car back to the dirt wall. So if they've seen a drop off on front load, he could have added some weight to compensate.
Hamilton, who had that earlier issue after contact with Oscar Piastri, and this is what happens in the street circuit. They either behave themselves because they're worried about chaos, or you get action for every minute of the Grand Prix. We have the latter today for you. The latest ever start time for a Formula 1 Grand Prix. Our first Saturday race since the 80s. And we're going to have a breather as the safety car is out, the field will bunch back together. Crucially, Charles Leclerc was able to get out ahead of Perez. Gasly having the benefit out there as well. He's on 14 places in fourth place, and Verstappen has the opportunity to go back racing in a close proximity to Esteban.
And it looks all rosy for Oscar Piastri right now, because he has done a stop, but crucially he hasn't changed tire compounds. He started with a used set of hards, he went to a new set of hards, so even though the track position has fallen his way, he is not satisfied with tire order. You have to run at least one or two different compounds with the field bunched up. It's going to hurt when he eventually has to pit.
Yeah, that just doesn't feel right, given that they've had this opportunity, that they didn't then go for a change of compound.
That is Carlos Sainz, who would have thought his chance of points slipped away with a spin at the first turn. Look how close it was there on the exit as well, between the Red Bull and the Aston Martin. Eventually, Verstappen able to clear that position. So that is Fernando Alonso moving into his spot. That's what happens under the safety car. It's just a lot of cars in a lot. This is strong, desperate to get back into the Grand Prix. There you go, there's another tight moment. That is the moment we saw from the Turn 1 camera. And the Red Bull, oh, Max is so lucky he didn't go over the painted line.
Yeah, that was crucial. The way he was drifted there, got out just in front of the Alpine and the safety car line. And here it was avoided right on the margin in front of the car.
So committed, great car control for Max there to keep that place. Everything, and this helps him, that's close the gap now. So only a handful of seconds behind the leader versus the 20-some odd he was before this happened. And to your point, DC, maybe he was going for a two-stopper anyway. He was using those tires quite hard. Max was tire rich coming into this race. The only driver that had two new sets of mediums, two new sets of hards to give them as many strategy options as possible as the corner workers there worked to clean up all that debris down in turn 12.
Missing a dollar, they've had debris down there. Early in the Grand Prix, Lando Norris